Hello, I'm Xavier of Kalia, and today I'm reviewing Dragon Ball Z: The Legacy of Goku. Here we are with more Dragon Ball Z. I explained that one of my first Dragon Ball Z games was Legendary Super Warriors. That game spanned over 3 arcs in an abridged way. However, Goku's first Game Boy Advance adventure starts with The Legacy of Goku. And this game takes the piss. It's even shorter and they did Goku dirty. Let's find out what's so special about Goku's first solo adventure. And before I forget, go to this timestamp to avoid spoilers. I explained in my second review that Legendary Super Warriors spanned over 3 arcs. The Legacy of Goku only has 1 arc. It's a story you're familiar with. Goku's son got kidnapped by Raditz, which allowed more training montages to rear its ugly head. Goku must defeat the Saiyans and defend Earth, and after that it's the Namek saga, where the game concludes with the battle against Frieza. While it follows the anime story closely, the heavy focus on training and grinding does become repetitive. The gameplay is a mixed bag. Unlike most Dragon Ball games of the time, The Legacy of Goku is an action RPG where you control Goku directly, exploring maps, talking to characters, completing objectives, and leveling up through combat. Gaining experience increases your strength, giving you a sense of progression as you move through the story. Combat is simple but can be frustrating. Goku can't attack while moving and enemies often attack relentlessly, and taking damage feels unavoidable in some areas. Just look at Goku himself. One of the strongest fighters in the series is reduced to hunting squirrels for experience and can come dangerously close, being defeated by stray dogs. It's a far cry from the hero fans know from the anime. Energy based attacks are useful, but managing your health and ki becomes an important part for surviving tougher encounters. The game also expects a fair amount of grinding, especially before certain bosses, which can slow the pace down considerably. Exploration plays a large role in the adventure. You'll travel across forests, deserts, mountains and other locations while searching for items and completing tasks. Some objectives are straightforward, while others can be confusing due to vague directions. The large maps add to the feeling of the adventure, but frequent backtracking and constant enemy encounters can make traveling feel more tedious and exciting. The graphics are serviceable for a Game Boy Advance launch era title, but they don't always do the Dragon Ball world justice. Character sprites are recognizable, and it's easy to tell who's who during gameplay, but the designs often lack detail compared to the anime. Goku and other major characters looks acceptable in dialogue portraits, yet their in-game sprites can appear stiff and simplistic. There is a variety of environments, taking you through forests, deserts, mountains and other locations from the series. While there is a decent amount of visual variety, many areas feel empty and repetitive. Large stretches of terrain often use the same tiles repeatedly, making exploration less visually interesting than it could have been. Some maps can also blend together after a while, especially during long play sessions. Special attacks and energy blasts feature simple effects that get the job done without being impressive. The game rarely captures the speed and spectacle of the anime battles. On the positive side, the visuals are generally clear and easy to read, which helps during combat and exploration. Character portraits during conversations are among the stronger visual elements, offering a closer resemblance to the source material than gameplay sprites themselves. There are also cutscenes from the anime, which are screen crunched and pixelated as hell. It's ambitious, but unnecessary. The music does an acceptable job of accompanying the adventure, but it isn't that memorable. The soundtrack consists of the kind of energetic and dramatic tunes you expect from a Dragon Ball game, helping to set the mood as you travel across different locations and prepare for upcoming battles. While the compositions fit the action, few tracks stand out long after you put the game down. Different areas have their own themes, which help give the journey a sense of progression. Exploration themes are generally light and adventurous, while battle music tries to create tension during important fights. The problem is that the tracks are short and loop frequently, so you often hear the melodies repeated over and over while grinding for experience or searching large maps. The Game Boy Advance's hardware also limits the soundtrack's impact. The instruments can sound thin and compressed, lacking the power and excitement associated with the anime's music. Some tracks manage to be catchy despite these limitations, but others come across as repetitive background noise after an extended play session. Sound effects are functional with punches, key blasts and menu sounds providing feedback during gameplay, though they are fairly basic and don't add much excitement to the action. The Legacy of Goku is one of those games that's easier to appreciate as a Dragon Ball fan than as a standalone action RPG. It deserves credit for attempting something different, letting players experience the story directly through exploration, quests and character growth rather than relying solely on traditional fighting game mechanics. The idea of guiding Goku through the events of the Saiyan and Namek saga is appealing, especially for fans who wanted a more story-focused Dragon Ball experience on the Game Boy Advance. Unfortunately, the execution doesn't always live up to the concept. The heavy grinding, uneven difficulty and repetitive combat can make progression feel more like a chore than an adventure. There are also plenty moments where the game struggles to capture the power fantasy of Dragon Ball, forcing Goku into situations that feel comical when weak enemies pose a serious threat. This was my Dragon Ball Z The Legacy of Goku review. Thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a comment, like and subscribe. I'm off making my next review.